In this lesson, we're going to do the gradients of secants to these three functions. Now, at this point here, I'm going to draw a line from there up to here. Okay, I might just put an orange. Now, this line is a secant. Now, I'll call that point there the point 1 plus h, and this point here will be function 1 plus h, because it's the function y equals x squared. Now, to work out the gradient of the secant will be equal to the difference in the y values, that is function 1 plus h minus function 1 all over 1 plus h minus 1. Now, to work out what this function 1 plus h is, all you need to do is substitute that back into here, and we get 1 plus h all squared minus 1 back in there, this 1 squared, just 1, all over, and of course this simply becomes h. And that becomes 1 plus 2h plus h squared minus 1 all over h. These h's, the ones go out rather, and h will go into this one twice, and h in that one h times. And that is the gradient of your secant, which is very important when we work out using the calculus later for the gradient of tangents. Okay, moving along now, we'll look at y equals x cubed. Doing the same thing, we'll find another point, 1, 1. And up here we've got another point here, which will be 1 plus h, it's a bit further along, and that'll be function 1 plus h. 1 plus h. A bit cramped there, sorry. Okay, so we're going to say that the gradient of the secant is equal to the difference in these y values. That's function 1 plus h, same thing really, isn't it? Minus function 1. The only difference, we're going to have a different function to use, that's all. Minus 1. And this, putting this in, you're going to have 1 plus h in here, all cubed. In here, that 1 cubed 1, all over h again. Now, expanding this out quickly, we get 1 plus 3h plus 3h squared plus h cubed minus 1 all over h. Again, the ones go out. Dividing each one by h, we get 3 plus 3h plus h squared. That's that. Now, these are pretty typical sort of questions you could be asked. The next one is a little bit more advanced, but we can still have a go at it. Again, we use 1, 1. You can use any point, it doesn't have to be 1, 1, but 1, 1 makes the algebra a little bit easier. And this becomes function, again, 1 plus h, should be 1 plus h, function 1 plus h. And again, we get the gradient of the secant equals function 1 plus h, difference to y values, minus function 1, all over 1 plus h minus 1. Now, what we have to do now is substitute that into here, and we get the square root of 1 plus h minus square root of 1, just 1 over h. And that is pretty sort of ugly at the moment. I need to bring this over a bit. The secant, let's rewrite that as 1 plus h minus 1 over h. Now what I'll do, I'll multiply numerator and bottom by what's called the conjugate of this one, same thing, different sign. So that's 1 plus h plus 1 all over square root of 1 plus h plus 1. So by doing that, what happens to the numerator is these square roots cancel, and you get 1 plus h minus 1, remember the difference of two squares, all over, this becomes h into the square root of 1 plus h minus 1. And of course these dudes go out, and the h's go out, and you get 1 over the square root of 1 plus h minus 1, which actually is a better way of writing it, as you'll see later on when we start looking at gradients of tangents.